My name is Renée Bornstein. I was, when the war started, I was 5 years old. I was in a cozy home, a normal home, nice, loving parents. We children, until we had this roundup, we were very happy. And because it was a little town of 10,000 people. We could play everywhere because there was no cars. Only the Lord Mayor, the priest, and the doctor had a car. In 1942, whole France was declared as zone occupée. Then it was a lot of roundup, more and more roundup. And very often Jewish organization came to my parents and said, you should leave, you should put your children in security because everybody knew it will be a roundup, we will be taken. My parents decided with a very heavy heart to send us we were supposed to go to Switzerland. It was a Jewish organization called OSE, and they let us go to Switzerland, thinking we are going there. And we 32 children went on this lorry, and it was very, very hot, but we had to be hidden. All the curtains were down. Then we reached this clandestine border in Switzerland. We were already at the border. When the lorry stopped, one boy, he was 11, and he said, "Oh, messieurs les Allemands, they always travel in Citroën." Citroën was maybe at the time like the Rolls-Royce now. And it was 4 officers. And behind this Citroën was a big lorry with German soldiers, as we children could escape. Anyway, then they asked straight away, Marianne, where are you going? She said, well, they are children that they will be sent in a summer camp because it was just because of the bombing from Lyon. And they followed us. And they said, where are you going? She said, we're going in this place, Pas de l'Échelle, where it was a children's home. We arrived there, and the person in charge, she said, when she saw us, she said straight away, they're not those children, because I only expected boys. That was, they call it, the directrice. And later on, I heard she was a collaboratrice. So we spent a few hours, it was already night. The eldest one was straight away sent into prison de Pax in Annemasse, and we spent a few hours, I think in the early morning, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I wouldn't say. We were taken also to Annemasse. But first we were interrogated. What is your name? Are you Jewish? How old are you? Are you Jewish? And the address of the parents. And we didn't give the address of the parents. We had wrong, false ID, but unfortunately not even finished. Oh, they noticed right away we are Jews. That was really a fact that everybody recognized. And we were sent in this prison, Le Pax. And near our cell, I remember, was a very nice lady. I remember her because only once she had the occasion to give us a few good words. And very soon after, we heard terrible screaming. And this screaming, it would follow me, I think, my entire life. I can hear this screaming. And we noticed, we children, that until the last breeze, he could breathe. After we were liberated, the Lord Mayor, Monsieur Jean Defoe, he was afraid that the Gestapo might come back, and he sent us to Switzerland. It was a hotel, Carlton, converted in a center of Red Cross. And we were there. We were, I think, until November. My parents didn't know where we were really. And they find us through the Red Cross, I think.
One day by Dean Iron Woman, Karen was young and so was I. With the other kids I played, we were all the same. But just in one day, all of that changed. We were blamed for being different, even though their hearts were disfigured. Men draped in medals took us away. That was the last we saw of our home that day. This was when I realized that we are not the same. They led me to a metal chamber with many who looked tired, sick and devastated. The air began to thicken. It was suffocating. I gasped for air as the others screamed. My vision blurred, my heart rate slowed. I failed to understand. What did we do?
One Day by Darcy Compa. The sun shining, children smiling. Oh, how I wish I could go back to that time. I was happy, playful and young. Everyone was seen as a person, the same, no matter their differences. Now I look back and see that that was imagined. People were different, and for this there were consequences, and still are. Every day I wish for this imaginary world to exist.
At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember them.
At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them.
At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them.
At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them.
At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn,
we remember them.
At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them.
When we have joy we crave to share, we remember them.
When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them.
When we have achievements based on theirs,
we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.
The poem is called Colours, and it's by Michaela Rockwizangogo, an award-winning Rwandan poet. It was dedicated to the survivors for the genocide in Rwanda as a message of hope and solidarity. It reads as follows: red, blue, yellow, green, white, purple, jasmine, orange, azure. Old palace, make way for new homes, a future spread with colours, a horizon without sorrow. Here ends our pain. Here begins life.
Io misi yari injana munu inimbazi gose benshi ab'intore babatishanga Imana idacinga akaboko nawari kurokoka 25 years of suffering 25 years of wandering 25 years of remembering Dore imyaka 25 irashize twibuka abacu twabuze batuvuyemo tutabishaka Imana ibaha iruhuko ridashira 25 years of suffering 25 years of wandering 25 years of remembering No more genocide in Rwanda No more genocide in the world No more No more, no more, no more, no more.
All my life I've been waiting. everyone should have human rights.
One day everyone will stop fighting.
My dream is for the world to be calm, fair and equal. One day I dream this will happen, the world to be calm.
One day we will celebrate our victory. One day there will be peace. One day the discrimination will end. One day to live, one day to escape.
One day, I hope that we will all live our lives without judgment or hate.
One day there will be peace.
In Lewisham, we have a long history of supporting Holocaust Memorial Day and Holocaust education across our borough. Over the years, thousands of young people from Lewisham have taken part in Holocaust education programmes and have taken part in in-person events on Holocaust Memorial Day. We do this because as a society we still haven't learned from the Holocaust and the horrors that were inflicted on so many people. Indeed, in subsequent genocides in Cambodia, in Bosnia, Rwanda and Darfur show that as a humankind we haven't learned those lessons. Around the globe we are seeing rising anti-Semitism. Just this weekend, people were held hostage at a synagogue in Texas. And 2021 is thought to be the worst year on record for anti-Semitism in the UK, with now frequent attacks on visibly Jewish communities here in our capital in London. This is part of the reason why we will continue our work on Holocaust Memorial Day and Holocaust education here in Lewisham. I'd like to end by thanking everybody who's watched this programme. I hope that you find it a fitting commemoration of Holocaust Memorial Day, and also to my fellow members of our Holocaust Memorial Day Committee here in Lewisham. Thank you.
El Melech Rachamon, Memorial Prayer for the Victims of the Holocaust. O God, who art full of compassion, who dwellest on high, grant perfect rest in thy divine presence to all the souls of our holy and pure brethren, whose blood was spilt by the murderers in Auschwitz, Belzec, Bergen-Belsen, Dachau, Majdanek, Sobibor, Treblinka, and other extermination camps in Europe, who were killed, strangled, burned, and buried alive for the sanctification of thy name, for whose souls we now pray. May their resting place be in the Garden of Eden. May the Master of Mercy shelter them in the shadow of his wings for eternity, and may he bind their souls in the bond of life. God is their heritage, and may they repose in peace in their resting places. Now let us say, Amen.